I'm talking to my boyfriend and my fiance who I don't know. Hello, yes, where's my ring? Fine, goodbye.
This is how rumors get started.
Yeah.
Abby and Brittany Hensel, 2 lives, 1 body, and a secret so dark it's been hidden from the world for years. Behind the smiling faces and the inspiring headlines, their story takes a shocking turn that few could ever imagine. These conjoined twins, celebrated for their unity and resilience, have faced unimaginable trials that go far beyond what the cameras ever captured. Let us take you beyond the veil of their public image into a world of untold truths and a revelation that will leave you speechless. The Untold Lives of Abby and Brittany Hensel. Abby and Brittany Hensel. You've probably heard the name, right? Those conjoined twins who've been on TV, graced magazine covers, and even let cameras into their lives for a reality show. Their story's been framed as inspirational, a human interest spectacle that leaves audiences oohing and aahing about their incredible bond and unbreakable teamwork. But let's strip away the feel-good headlines and get real for a second. Beyond the polished public appearances and the carefully curated narratives, there's a whole side to their lives that's deliberately kept in the shadows. Call it secrets, mysteries, or just things they'd rather keep out of the spotlight. Either way, the public doesn't get to see it all, and there's a reason for that. Behind the smiles lies a hidden truth, one that could change everything you thought you knew about Abby and Brittany Hensel. Now, for those who somehow don't know the backstory, Abby and Brittany were born in 1990, joined at the torso. 1 body, 2 heads, each controls her side of their shared body. Walking, driving, swimming. It all requires a level of coordination that'd make Olympic synchronized swimmers jealous. They've managed to carve out what looks like a functional, even fulfilling life. College graduates, teachers, a duo that doesn't let the fact that they share a liver and a pair of arms stop them from pursuing their goals. Impressive, sure, but scratch the surface and you'll find a story with way more layers, some of them darker than the cheery interviews let on. First off, let's talk about the elephant in the room: privacy. The twins have been under a spotlight their entire lives, cameras zooming in, reporters asking invasive questions, and all of us watching with fascination that's often more voyeuristic than empathetic. Imagine trying to live your life, go to school, get a job, maybe even date, with an audience constantly demanding to know how you're doing it. Do you share a toothbrush? What about dating? Can you ever disagree without it being a complete disaster? It's relentless, and honestly, who wouldn't have some secrets in that situation? Let's get into some of those potential dark areas people speculate about, the stuff Abby and Brittany wisely keep out of public view. First, their medical situation. Sure, they've talked about some of it, but do you really think we've heard everything? Being conjoined isn't just about shared organs and a fused skeleton. It's years of doctor's visits, surgeries, health scares, and probably some downright terrifying moments. And they've got every right to keep those parts private. Still, you've got to wonder, how much of their resilience is a mask? How often do they have to push through pain or discomfort just to keep up appearances? Then there's the emotional toll. Think about it. 2 people, 1 body. They're individuals, but they're never truly alone. Never. Imagine not being able to storm off after an argument or having no physical way to take a break from someone else's presence. People argue and clash, that's normal. But for Abby and Brittany, even the simplest disagreement has to be worked through, because what's the alternative? Sulking in silence while still occupying the same body? That's gotta wear on you after a while. And speaking of individuality, how do they balance being Abby and Brittany versus just Abby and Brittany? They're not one person, even if their bodies are physically connected. They've got different preferences, opinions, and dreams. Abby's more serious. Brittany's laid back. It's been said in interviews, but let's be real. Those differences are probably a lot more pronounced when the cameras aren't rolling. Think about the big life decisions, careers, relationships, even something as simple as what to wear. How do they compromise without one person always feeling like she's losing out? And let's not gloss over the whole relationship topic. Everyone's curious about their romantic lives, which, honestly, is kind of gross when you think about it. Still, it's a question that lingers. How does that work for them? Have they ever been in love? Do they even want relationships, or is that just one more expectation society unfairly places on them? Whatever the answers, it's clear they're keeping that part of their lives locked up tight. And who could blame them? The last thing they need is more prying eyes dissecting something that personal. Another angle, the public persona. Abby and Brittany have been lauded as role models, proof that you can overcome anything if you just try hard enough. But here's the thing, that's a lot of pressure. They're human, not some inspirational poster come to life. They've probably had days where they're sick of being unbreakable and just want to be angry or sad or exhausted without it turning into a headline about their bravery. Keeping up that perfect team image, that's got to be draining. Oh, and don't forget the constant judgment. For all the praise they get, there's an undercurrent of criticism. Why don't they share more? Why aren't they doing this or that? As if anyone else would handle their situation any better. And let's be honest, a lot of the fascination with their lives isn't as noble as people like to think. It's curiosity bordering on gawking, a need to turn them into a sideshow rather than recognizing them as just people. There's more to Abby and Brittany Hensel than what you've seen so far. High school, friendships, and finding independence. The future remains uncertain. The new footage hints at potential health issues that could be on the horizon, and it is hard not to worry about what might come next. The Hensel twins have faced more challenges than most people could imagine, and they have done it with grace and resilience. But the reality is that their shared organs are under constant strain, and as they get older, those challenges are only going to get tougher. Their medical team is keeping a close eye on things, but there is no denying that the stakes are high. Through it all, what stands out the most is these sisters' bond. They are not just siblings, they are partners in every sense of the word. They support each other through the tough times, celebrate the good moments, and face every challenge together. The footage captures some truly touching moments between them, moments that show just how deep their connection goes. It is a reminder that, no matter what happens, they will always have each other, and that might just be their greatest strength of all. Growing up, these siblings learned to swim, run, and even play sports like volleyball. Watching them participate in physical activities, it becomes apparent just how much practice and effort it takes for them to achieve what most take for granted. Every movement requires cooperation. Every action requires planning. When they run, one controls one leg and the other manages the other. Imagine having to trust someone so completely that even the simple act of running requires you to be in perfect sync. Yet they do it, and they do it well. In their teenage years, a time that is challenging for any young person, but especially so for these two. Navigating friendships, school, and social events as conjoined twins came with its own set of unique challenges. There were moments of frustration, times when they disagreed on what to wear or how to spend their time. One memorable scene shows them getting ready for a school dance. One wanted to wear a blue dress while the other preferred a green one. It might seem trivial, but for them, it was a significant compromise. In the end, they chose a dress that had elements of both colors, a symbol of the constant give and take that defines their relationship. Their high school years were also marked by achievements. They learned how to drive, something that many thought would be impossible. The footage shows them practicing with their driving instructor, learning how to coordinate their movements to operate the car safely. One twin was in charge of the pedals and gear shifts, while the other handled the steering. It took hours of practice, patience, and a few setbacks, but they eventually got their licenses. The pride on their faces as they held up their driver's licenses was unmistakable. It was a moment of independence, a testament to their determination to live life on their own terms. Their decision to pursue a career in teaching was another significant milestone. After graduating from Bethel University, they began teaching 4th and 5th graders. The footage shows them in action, standing at the front of the classroom, engaging with their students. Their teaching style is dynamic, with each sister bringing her unique strengths to the role. One, with her detail-oriented nature, focuses on explaining concepts clearly, while the other, with her more relaxed demeanor, makes learning fun and accessible. Together, they create a learning environment that is both structured and enjoyable. Their students love them, not because they are different, but because they are genuinely good teachers. The footage captures moments of laughter in the classroom, students raising their hands eagerly, and the sisters working together to answer questions. It is clear that they have found their calling, and despite the challenges, they are making a positive impact on the lives of their students. One particularly touching moment shows a student giving them a handmade card that reads, "Best Teachers Ever." It is a simple gesture, but it speaks volumes about the kind of educators they are. However, the new health concerns hinted at in the footage cast a shadow over their future. As they get older, the strain on their shared organs becomes more pronounced. Their liver, in particular, has been a focus of concern for their medical team. The footage shows them at a doctor's appointment undergoing tests to monitor their liver function. The worry on their faces is evident, but so is their determination. They have faced health scares before, and they have always come through stronger. But the reality is that their bodies are unique, and that uniqueness comes with risks that are difficult to predict. The footage also touches on their emotional journey. Living as conjoined twins means that they have never had a moment to themselves. They are together all the time, and while their bond is incredibly strong, it is not without its challenges. There are times when they argue, times when they need space that they simply cannot have. One scene shows them sitting quietly, each lost in her own thoughts. It is a rare moment of stillness, a reminder that even the closest of relationships need breathing room. Despite these challenges, the sisters have found ways to maintain their individuality. They have different hobbies, different tastes in music, and even different groups of friends. The footage shows one painting, a hobby she loves, while the other prefers to read. It is these small acts of independence that allow them to express who they are as individuals, even while sharing one body. Their friends and family have always supported this, encouraging them to pursue their own interests and celebrating their differences. The support of their family cannot be overstated. The footage provides a glimpse into the sacrifices their parents have made to give the twins the best possible life. Their mother talks about the early days, the sleepless nights spent worrying about their health, and the countless doctor visits. Their father, ever the problem solver, built custom furniture and equipment to accommodate their needs. Their siblings too played a role, treating them no differently than anyone else. It is this unwavering support that has helped them become the resilient, independent women they are today. The twins are now addressing critics in a way that leaves no room for misunderstanding. Facing public scrutiny. Twin sisters are speaking their truth to the critics. These well-known conjoined siblings have taken to social media to respond to the ongoing chatter, particularly about one's marriage to Josh Bowling. They recently shared a TikTok picture of the newlywed featuring an audio clip that captured their perspective perfectly. The point? If someone dislikes them but keeps following their every move, they're still a fan. The pair's direct approach to calling out hypocrisy shows that, despite the critics, they can't seem to look away. This isn't their first time addressing the noise from the internet. Back on March 28th, they shared another TikTok, subtly addressing negative remarks. The video displayed ancient sculptures of conjoined twins, accompanied by a caption reminding viewers that they've always been here. It was their way of highlighting that they are not a novelty but part of history. Conjoined people have always existed, and it's about time society accepted that. These exceptional sisters have spent much of their lives in the public spotlight. They first gained major recognition in 1996 on The Oprah Winfrey Show, where they shared insights into their unique experience. Lately, a lot of the online chatter has focused on one's marriage to Josh Bowling, a nurse and U.S. Army veteran. People are intrigued, and not always positively. Some ask questions, while others make rude comments, implying that the life choices of one impact both, or expressing disbelief that either could have a normal relationship. But the reality is that marriage hasn't changed who they are or their shared life. It's clear her sister fully supports the relationship, and they continue their journey together as a team. To doubters and critics, they have one simple response. They're not living for the approval of strangers on the internet. It's amazing how these women have remained composed despite all the criticism. It's worth noting that they are both now fifth-grade teachers. After all they've endured, they've chosen to contribute to their community by educating young minds. Imagine having teachers who have overcome more by their 20s than most people face in a lifetime. Their dedication to the classroom is truly admirable. They face judgment and overcome it, choosing to inspire instead. Their students get to witness resilience, teamwork, and determination firsthand, lessons that no textbook can truly capture. Dicephalic parapagus is an uncommon and extraordinary form of conjoined twinning, where two heads are side by side on one body. This occurs when a fertilized egg fails to fully divide during the early stages of development. Essentially, it's like two individuals trying to exist within a single body, and how they share organs and limbs determines their quality of life. It's not just about surviving birth, it's about discovering how much of a typical life is possible. Conjoined twins occur in about 1 in 50,000 to 100,000 births, with dicephalic parapagus twins making up around 11% of these cases. In this kind of conjoining, there is one body with two separate heads. They may have two hearts, which greatly aids survival. Other times, they have only one heart, complicating things. The number of limbs can also differ. They might have anywhere from 2 to 4 arms or 2 to 3 legs. Each case is unique, adding complexity. Often, dicephalic parapagus twins are stillborn or die shortly after birth. It's a tough situation because when vital organs are shared, risks are extremely high. Yet not all hope is lost. Some dicephalic twins survive and reach adulthood. Separating them is not always an option, especially if they share critical organs. The decision really depends on how interconnected their organs are. And even then, it's a risky procedure that could lead to disaster for one or both twins. Doctors have coined scientific names for these twins based on the number of limbs they have. Twins with 2 arms are called dibrachius. Those with 4 arms are tetrabrachius. This is simply a classification of how many limbs are present. While it might sound technical, it's essentially a way for doctors to comprehend what's happening within the shared body. The medical field hasn't always been compassionate toward dicephalic twins. In the past, there was debate about whether they should receive medical help at all. Some argued it was better not to treat them due to the difficulties they'd face and the risks involved. Thankfully, attitudes have shifted significantly. Today, there's more support and emphasis on quality of life, not just survival, but ensuring they have a chance at a fulfilling life, even if it's very different from most people's experiences. This condition is rare and complex, fraught with medical and ethical challenges. Most dicephalic parapagus twins do not live long, but those who do can lead extraordinary lives given the obstacles they face. Medical advances continue to improve our understanding and management of this rare condition, but it's always a challenging journey for the twins and their families. In a 2003 documentary, these sisters spoke about their desire to become mothers someday. It was a touching moment that resonated deeply, showing that despite their circumstances, their dreams are much like anyone else's. They want careers, relationships, and perhaps a family. But the internet often complicates things. People ask invasive questions or make judgments, forgetting that these two are real individuals with emotions, not just an online spectacle. For those who can't see beyond their curiosity or choose to be rude or judgmental, the sisters have a straightforward message. They aren't seeking anyone's approval. They aren't asking for permission to live their lives. In a society obsessed with appearances, they serve as a powerful reminder that there's much more to a person than meets the eye. Do we judge too quickly, or are we just afraid of what we don't understand? If you enjoyed this discussion, like the video, leave your thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe.